How we doing, everybody? So the weigh-ins were done this morning for UFC 290 International Fight Week, and everybody made weight apart from one person. Yes, sadly, Jalen the Tarantula Turner did not make weight. Last person to weigh in. I'm live in Las Vegas, by the way. The beautiful strip behind me. We'll talk about that in a moment. But yeah, Jalen was the last person to make weight. I kind of felt there and then, that he was the last person to weigh in, that he was struggling. That sounds obvious, but when you look at him, he's 6'3" for a lightweight, and he's getting bigger, he's getting broader, he's getting bulkier and stockier every time I see him. So yeah, didn't make weight, so he's going to lose a fraction of his purse. Fortunately, though, the fight with himself and Dan Hooker is still on. That's the main thing, because that's an incredible fight that I cannot wait for. It's going to be fireworks, that one. The main event, Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez. That's obviously on. They were two of the first people on the scale. Pantoja and Moreno, of course, they're professionals. They got title fights. They're going to be a pound under. They were all on weight real quick. They were professionals. They showed up super early. And so did everyone else for the most part. There was no heavyweights on the card either. So that always makes it easy, because those heavyweights, if you're doing a live weighing show like I did today for BT Sport, I'm telling you, those heavyweights, they make you earn your money, because they rock up the final minute. They don't care. They're not cutting weight. They're stuffing their faces. They're drinking milkshakes. They're having bacon sandwiches. You know what I mean? They are getting as heavy as they can, and they're taking the sweet time about it. So anyway, the weigh-ins are done. Turner missed weight. Probably 20 or 30% of his purse he'll have to give away to Dan Hooker. That said, they've got a real possibility of winning fight of the night. But hold on, I think if you miss weight, you're excluded from the bonus. Oh man, so if you're Jalen Turner, you could go out there, you get fight of the night, but not get the 50 grand. I think I'm pretty accurate. I might be wrong, but I think I'm correct there. So, geez Louise. I kind of hope for Jalen's sake that it doesn't become fight of the night. I was saying that, then that's not fair on Dan Hooker. Anyway, I'm in Las Vegas here. There is the beautiful strip behind me. You can see the sphere thingy, Bob. Look at that. I mean, that's unbelievable. This place, Las Vegas, is just incredible. The entertainment capital of the world. The stuff that goes on here. The fun you can have. The facilities, the shows, the NFL. We've got the Grand Prix coming here next year. No, this year, November. They're building the street course as we speak. And of course, it's the fight capital of the goddamn world as well. Talking of that, T-Mobile Arena. Saturday night, Alexander Volkanovski, the pound for pound great, once again defending the belt. Okay, going up against Yair Rodriguez. It's an incredible fight. You know my predictions. You've seen them. You've seen the predictions. I think Volkanovski does it. I think Brandon Moreno gets beaten. I think it's going to be Anu. And I just did a video with Dominic Cruz. If you haven't seen that, check that out. They're like, what's your problem with the Mexicans? I've got no problem with the Mexicans. They're a great fighting nation. They're having such a time in mixed martial arts now. Obviously, you've got Alexa Grasso. You've got Brandon Moreno. You've got Yair Rodriguez as an interim champion. So there's 3 champions. And I don't think there's necessarily a reason for this. It's not like something's happened. Some great coaches have gone down there. I feel like it was only a matter of time before we started getting Mexican champions. If you look at Mexico and their rich culture and heritage of fighting, they're a proud fighting nation. And of course, when it comes to boxing, they've produced some of the greatest fighters that we've ever seen. So of course, there was a little bit of a learning process, a bit of a learning curve for them to catch up. You know what I mean? But the Mexican fighting spirit is second to none. So it doesn't surprise me that we've got 3 champions. Of course, Grasso's going up against Valentina Shevchenko soon. That's going to be a tough one. Pantoja may potentially, in my opinion, take the belt off Brandon Moreno. And Yair Rodriguez is probably going to lose it. So you never know. You might lose all 3. But this is the fight game. This is what happens. So I did a BT Sport weigh show. I was just doing some work for ESPN. And now in a minute, I've got to head over back to the UFC Apex, because I will be doing Power Slap. But the fights tomorrow night are going to be ridiculous. Robert Whittaker versus Dricus du Plessis. I did some interviews with them. Robert Whittaker gets the job done, I think. But I wouldn't be surprised if du Plessis goes out there and knocks him out. Because Whittaker is, I would say, more technical. Not that Dricus isn't technical. He's very technical. He's got a great skill set. He's got good takedowns. Took down Derek Brunson last time, I'm crying out loud. But he hits hard. He swings for the fences. He's not quite as polished as Robert Whittaker, but he's not far off. So I think Robert's the better guy. I think du Plessis in this one as well is going to have a better gas tank. In the past, we've seen du Plessis get tired. That is because he had a nose injury. He couldn't breathe through his nose. And then just recently, he had an operation, a deviated septum. There you go, there's the technical term. I think that's what it was. And he's had that repaired. So now he can breathe through his nose correctly. Talking of breathing through noses, I can't breathe through my nose because I broke it so many times throughout my fight career. Listen, that's how I breathe all the time. It's very annoying, especially when you're trying to sleep at night. So I went to see a doctor and he stuck a camera up my nose and he started laughing his head off. I said, what are you laughing at? And he said, well, no wonder you can't breathe. It's like a hand grenade has gone off inside your nose. So they took my ribs and they rebuilt my nose. Didn't do the best job because I still can't breathe. Anyway, back to Dricus. He can breathe through his nose now. So I think that will help him. It will help his gas tank. And I think Robert Whittaker's got a real interesting fight on his hands, although I do have the Reaper, Robert Whittaker, getting it done. And I also have him rematching Israel Adesanya for the third time in Sydney, Australia in just a few months' time. So that's going to be incredible. What else is big ones on the card? Oh, Bo Nickal. Bo Nickal's taking on a... Listen, we know Bo Nickal. He's one of the best wrestlers we've seen in the UFC. You know, the credentials when it comes to wrestling are ridiculous. Last time out, he opened up the pay-per-view, the first card on the pay-per-view in his UFC debut. In his fourth professional MMA fight, now he's in the same position again. What an incredible position. And the person that he's going up against, his original opponent's Trayshawn God dropped out. And this new guy, Val Woodburn, I think it is, undefeated, didn't wrestle at high school or college, but undefeated. He's got a few stoppages. He's got a tough one on his hands. Let's be honest. I think anyone's got a tough one on their hands. Stylistically, Bo Nickal is a match, just a nightmare matchup for anybody in the entire division, right? But you can believe in yourself. Remember, I was a 10-1 underdog against Luke Rockhold. No one believed in me. Everyone thought I was going to get knocked out. He'd already beaten me. People thought I wasn't good enough to compete. And I knocked him out in the first round. So, you know, crazier things have happened. And wouldn't that be incredible? Not to see Bo Nickal get knocked out, but just to see an upset. It's just something like minus 2,500 is Bo Nickal. I think that's like, in English terms, 25-1. I mean, that's wild. It's insane. What else we got on the card? Robbie Lawler. Ruthless Robbie Lawler finally bowing out, signing off, saying goodbye, hanging up the gloves, moving on to other things. Robbie Lawler made his UFC debut in 2002. 21 years fighting at the highest level. Sure, there was a little bit of time where he wasn't in the UFC, you know, and he fought in Strikeforce and fought in Elite XC, I think it was, in Hawaii and places. But he came back, knocked out Josh Koscheck, became the champion of the world, gave us some legendary fights, legendary performances. Beat Johnny Hendricks to become the champ, defended the belt a couple of times, obviously lost to Tyrone Woodley, but take a bow. I mean, ruthless Robbie Lawler, a true legend, got inducted into the Hall of Fame last night, as did Anderson Silva. Jose Aldo, a very tearful Jose Aldo, which I get. I cried when I got inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's just an incredible honour. It really is. So congratulations to all of them. But yeah, International Fight Week, as always, does not disappoint. And the fights haven't even started yet. It's Friday night. Well, it's Friday afternoon. It'll be Friday night soon. And the fights are tomorrow. So the action hasn't even really started yet. But still, I do believe, other than Jalen Turner, everybody made weight. The fights are all still going ahead. It's going to be absolutely ballistic. I'm going to be doing an instant reaction straight afterwards. I just did a little interview with Dominic Cruz where we had some fun. We were talking a bit of crap about one another. We were having a laugh. We're being a bit silly. Check that out on the channel as well. He gave his predictions as well. So there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I will leave you to it. Here is the strip one more time. This place is just ridiculous. I mean, what a place. There's the sphere thingy bob over there. We've got the Eiffel Tower replica. Got the Bellagio fountains. Are they in effect? No, they're not in effect right now, but Las Vegas, what a place. Anyway, this is it. Me, Mikey B, signing out. See you soon.